guy, and he goes, man, that's a funny looking dog you got there. And the guy says, man, that's not a dog, that's an aardvark. I mean, it was an aardvark. It wasn't a dog, it was an aardvark. Isn't that cool? Now, perfect. Folks, I'm going to begin this process by counting to the number 1. I want you to focus on your waist down to the tips of your toes. As you hear me snap my fingers, I want you to relax every fiber, every muscle, every tendon, every nerve of your legs. Letting your legs become very, very heavy. Speakers. Now, folks, you're going to hear sounds of life. You're going to hear people cough. You might hear noises around you, but that just means that life goes on. Forehead. When I touch you on the forehead, it's going to be like a very comforting super glue, gluing your eyes shut, making your eyes feel very, very good. It will not burn in any way. It's going to effectively glue your eyes shut because they feel too good. Sleep nice and nice. Just relax your facial muscle. Relax your facial muscle. Perfect. First I'm touching down, take a deep breath. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. Time, breathe in. And breathe out. Sleep nice and nice. That was additional. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to be sitting up on your piano benches on the count of 3 with your eyes closed. I want you to be cracking those knuckles, loosening up those arms, those legs, loosening up those entire bodies, because you're going to play like you've never played before. And believe me, you guys want to show off, and we're going to give them a chance to show off, right? So ladies and gentlemen, before we do that, I want you guys to go ahead on the count of 3, sit straight up with your eyes closed, and loosen up in 1, 2, 3. Loosen up, loosen up, loosen up. Make sure that those arms are loose, those legs are loose, those arms, those wrists, those fingers, make sure that you are completely loose. And remember, we do not want you to pull a muscle. Now, once you are completely loose and ready, I want you to show us that you're ready to play by putting your fingers up on your keyboards. Fingers up. There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell by the posture here that we got classical, jazz, honky tonk. There's a self-taught. There's another self-taught. Perfect. You guys are ready to go. Now, we got Hunt and Peck. Looking good, looking good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to play like you have never played before, with enthusiasm, with smiles, with energy. I really want you to put on a show for these people who have come to see you all. Now, let's count up for you. I want you to play like you have never played before. In 1, 2, 3, play! All right, folks, make sure you cheer them on. Give them some love. Give them some love. All right, now I can tell you we got jazz. We got a honky tonk. We got an entertainer there, ladies and gentlemen. We got everything going on. Check them out, check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, you want to see them show off? All right, ladies and gentlemen, all my musicians, I want you to stop playing with your fingers and play only with your feet. Your feet, your feet, your feet. There you go. Check out the style, check out the style. Now you can take your shoes off if you want. Doesn't matter. There you go. Perfect. Looking good, looking good, looking good. All right, now I want you to stop playing with your feet. I want you to play only with your tongues. Tongue. Blah, 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 blah. Stick those tongues way out there. They're a foot long, a foot long, a foot long. Tongues, 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 tongues. Blah, 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 blah. There you go. No feet, just your tongue, just your tongue, just your tongue. Your tongue is 4 feet long. Blah, blah.
The Hypnosis show, a lot of people get a bad impression of Hypnosis from Vegas, and oh, it's an adult show or it's edgy, and it's not that way. We're very, very family friendly, and we do a comedy hypnosis show that's good for the entire family. In fact, you got to be at least 12 to be on stage. But kids all the way down to about age 8 can get hypnotized, and so it doesn't have to be what most people think that it is, where it's it's adult or it's racy. It's very, very clean, very family friendly. The motto of the show is making memories that will laugh a lifetime, and so laughing and trying to let go of some of the stress and some of the worries that we carry around with us, even when we're on vacation. When you come to this show, whether you're on the stage or whether you're in the audience, you are laughing and you're cutting loose and letting your hair down and having a good time. That's what we're trying to accomplish here. We've been pretty successful so far. So when I got into hypnosis, it really piqued my interest in how the brain works and why we do what we do. And so that has got me into college, and I have been pursuing my doctorate degree in counseling psychology now. So I have a clinical practice where I see people one-on-one for things like grief and stress and anger management and golf swings and stuttering and who knows. But I see people every day for different things that we put in our own past. Most of the time, the people that I see, they struggle with obstacles that they place in their own way. And so they can't figure out how to remove those obstacles. And through hypnosis, we get them relaxed to the point where they can see things for what they really are. Phobia cures. I do a lot of snakes and spider phobias and fear of heights and things like that. In about 20 minutes, it goes from a level 10 fear down to about a level 3. And so it's when you get out of your own way, things happen that are miraculous, and we have a good time. So it's with the counseling psychology degree, the master's in counseling psychology, I'm working towards a doctorate degree. Then my hope is to do a little bit more clinical research, but my passion, my fun is here doing the show and letting people laugh and have a great time like they did tonight.
The person I'm touching now, and only the person I'm touching now, you're going to join me at the center of the stage. There we're going to perform for this entire loving audience. We're going to perform the signature dance that you taught me earlier today when you arrived on our planet. And then I'm going to hand you the microphone. When I hand you the microphone, you're going to rap in fluent Martian. And you're going to own this crowd, you're going to own this audience, you're going to work this stage, and you're going to be fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, on the count of 3, I want you to give her a big round of applause as we welcome the Earth's first Martian rap artist in 1, 2, 3. Keep going. Nice and loud, keep going. There you go. Keep going. Yo, work the crowd, go on out there, work the crowd. I'm touching now, and only the person I'm touching now, you and you alone. From now on, anytime you hear applause, no matter when it is, no matter how often it is, that applause is for you, my friend, because you are the world-famous movie star, Tom Cruise, and you have come to Gatlinburg in disguise, but you have been found out. Tom, people know that it's you, brother. And so, what's going to happen anytime you hear applause, you just assume that applause is for you because you're awesome, man. And you being the cool guy that you are, anytime you hear applause, you're going to stand up, you're going to come to the center of the stage, you're going to wave to your adoring fans, you're going to blow kisses at them, you're going to bow, and you're going to accept that loving adoration that you know is for you. Anytime you hear applause, it's for you. Tom, I don't want you to be shy. I want you to accept your applause anytime you hear it. 3 and 1, 2, 3. Wide awake, eyes open, perfect. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, give them a huge round of applause. Big round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Cruise. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Very good. Excellent. Ladies and gentlemen, very good.
No, it's absolutely real. Hollywood has done us a disservice in making you think that hypnosis is like Dracula, look me in the eye. There's actually people that come to the show and they're doing this. They won't look me in the eye, and I'm like, hello, and they're like, I don't want to look you in the eye. It's like, it doesn't work that way. Everybody, myself, you, everybody that's watching has been hypnotized multiple times every day. In fact, if you're alert, awake, and up and moving around, you've been entered into hypnosis and passed out of hypnosis no less than 4 times an hour. And it's every time that you zone out. When you're driving home and you start thinking about what you got to do when you get home, and the next thing you know, you're home, and you've missed the whole trip, and you're like, wow, where'd I go? You were hypnotized. That's all it is. But up here, it goes a little deeper than that, but it is certainly not the magical, mystical Hollywood version of it where I say sleep and you become a zombie and you have no idea. Now, what you saw here tonight was people that don't remember doing what they did, but they were in control the entire time. It's a post-hypnotic suggestion called post-hypnotic amnesia, where for the show purposes, it's funny. People are like, oh, how did that work? Because they're going to get the DVD, and then they'll see themselves later on, and they just kind of are amazed at watching the DVD. I actually had a lady one year that said, I'm a little upset. And I was like, well, why are you upset? She goes, well, I just sat down and the show's over. And we paid money to see this, and nothing happened. And I was like, ma'am, you were the star of the show. And she goes, nothing happened. And she actually got upset with me, and she was demanding her money back. So I actually pulled the DVD out, and I put it on the TV outside, and she watched it, and her mouth hit the floor. She had no clue. And she started laughing, and her husband and family were just having the best time. It's a lot of fun what we do.
Ladies and gentlemen, one final step on the count of 3. In 1, 2, 3. I want you to look at their faces, and then I want you to shout out how long have they actually been on stage while looking at their faces. You guys ready? Got it? Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hours. Well over an hour and a half you guys have been on stage. Now, do you think you've been on stage for an hour and a half? Now, you see their faces? Yeah, you don't think, how long have you been on stage? You've had your shoes off that long. She's really paranoid about shoes. Now, you guys all felt like you've been on stage for about 5 minutes, but you've been on stage for actually about an hour and a half. It is 20 minutes till 9 right now. So, how's everybody feel? You feel good? Anybody have any memories or anything?
That work.
Yeah, it's a trigger. Basically, at the end of the show, I tell people until your feet step foot outside the building and your feet hit the concrete, or until your head hits the pillow, that's a lingering thought that just kind of floats around in their brain. And so whenever, like for some people, it's my voice. When they hear my voice, like anytime the lady hears me say DVD, she kisses her husband, that kind of thing. She's out there like, why am I doing this? But she was laughing. It was a lot of fun. But it's a trigger that it's kind of becomes a reflex. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Whenever they hear the trigger, they follow the command before they even think about it. But they know exactly what they're doing, and they're like, why did I just do that? So it occurs to them after they've done it. So the I'm a pretty princess, like the guy did, anytime I say Space Needle, he jumps up and says, I'm a pretty princess. And that triggers a chain of reactions from other people, and who's your daddy, that kind of thing. So it's a lot of fun that way. Okay, everybody's got the shoes on. Now you're going to need your shoes if you go up to the top of the Space Needle. You're not Ladies and gentlemen, give them a big round of applause. They go back to their seats. It's different every night because the audience is different every night. Now, if you were to come to the show 5 nights in a row, you might see some of the same skits, but they're done differently because the audience up there is doing them differently. Now, depending on, like tonight, we were very heavy with ladies on stage, and we had the one guy up there. And so I did stuff that was geared towards them and a couple things that were for him. But a lot of times it's the other way around. We'll get all guys and just a couple of ladies. So I'll do different things that cater to the different. I've got about 150 different skits that we can do that are all on my iPod that I can pull up at the drop of a dime to customize it to the crowd that's there. And, a lot of times people are like, well, can I bring my kids here? Well, absolutely, we can bring. We like kids of all ages, and like I was saying before, you got to be at least 12 to be on stage. But when we have a show full of a bunch of little kids, I'll even ask the audience, hey, you guys mind if we make these little kids the star for just a few minutes before the show actually begins? And I'll get them all up on stage, and I used to do stuff with kids all the time as far as shows go. So I would teach them how to spin plates on their fingers, and we'll do the YMCA, and I'll get the little kids, so they're involved in the show as well because they're too young to be hypnotized, and I don't want them sitting there. A lot of shows in town are very, very appropriate for kids, but they're not for kids, and the kids just kind of sit there bored, so we like to incorporate them and make them a part of the show, and I'll do little magic tricks and stuff for them. And then the older kids, especially teenagers, high school, college, and the young adults, oh man, they have a blast. We have a good time.
Well, I must say, I've never seen a crowd so involved. You really, really got this crowd going.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Every one of them.
Yeah, it's funny when you see 89 people in a room doing the chicken dance, or they're all waving their hands back and forth, and they're all singing back and forth. That's part of the thing that kind of sets us apart is that before the show starts, I'm out meeting everybody. And I'm not like a lot of the shows where you don't see the person until the show starts, and then you don't see them again afterwards. I'm out the whole time. I'm talking to everybody, getting to know, because the key to building a successful hypnosis show is being able to build rapport with somebody. If you don't have a rapport, if those people don't trust you, you're sunk before you even start. And so I'm meeting people at the very beginning, and so that's why at the end of the show I'm saying, hey, everybody, hey, oh, and everybody does it, and the whole audience gets involved. So that way, it's not just the people on stage and their families that are enjoying the show. Even the people that just came to watch can get into the show and they have a good time. And we've had people that had nobody on stage, but they've all bought DVDs. They want to take the whole show home, and then they all come back. Word of mouth for us is huge. So, because like I said, we don't have the big marketing budgets that a lot of the big theaters have. We rely on TripAdvisor. We rely on word of mouth and people just spreading the word.
You guys do your thing. I want everybody on your feet. I want to see your dance moves. And 1, 2, 3, everybody. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. You know it. Everybody clap your hands.
It was wonderful. It was perfect for these guys and me. So big age differences, and it was perfect.
Is this what you expected?
Actually, no, not at all. It was better.
Better than I expected.
I didn't believe in hypnotism, and now I do, which is really weird. So
Yeah, it was really weird.
I definitely enjoyed it. It was a blast.
So you were in it.
Yes.
Is this what you thought it was going to be?
I was very skeptical. I honestly didn't think it was going to work, and to tell you the truth, I ended up in my husband's lap at the end, and I'm not really sure why or how.
Is that right?
Yes. Kissing him.